Going over to the Cultural Report podcast, you have Nike ads going base as they switch from fat African American women to fatherhood. This is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness on X, and he says, quote, Nike in 2021 versus Nike in 2025. And here you can see, I should put a visual disclaimer. There's someone on the screen who is debatably more viscerally disgusting and visually disgusting than myself, which is saying something. It is a very large African American woman with, I don't know the Nike apparel names for their products, but it's tight Nike clothing that stretches. No, thankfully at the very bottom is, I think that's her in real life standing in front of the presumably Mount Rushmore sized building for her billboard. And then she's actually wearing like a jacket they would wear in winter. Unfortunately, she's having leggings or something on, so it's still on the bottom of the picture. But yeah, it's a very large African American woman, which again, that's I have the demographics. That's not the issue here. To me, the issue is, she's not quite as big as Chris Farley, but she's a very big woman. And no, there's no such thing as big boned as a myth. And yeah, it says own the floor, which ironically, she looks like she would also break the floor as well. So in this case, this would be owning a very robust, very sturdy floor. That's a good thing. You always want to make sure you invest properly when it comes to, the floors of where you're living and where you're standing. Presumably hers is reinforced with rebar, a couple of maybe concrete as well. But yeah, that's what it used to be. Own the floor, they say. And again, Nike, for those who don't know, is a fitness company where you're supposed to be, getting in shape, working out, presumably not being morbidly obese. And now you have the new one. Now, the new picture is a father holding a golf club with his son crawling towards it. And the caption is, "You've already won," which the youth might say is based as hell. Because again, culturally speaking, one side of political aisles, this has become a political issue as well. Well, one side of the aisle sterilizes and kills children, while the other one, they want to have children. And this is an excellent ad. You have the father holding the golf club, and the kid is crawling on the green of the golf field. I know sports balls sometimes, but kid is crawling towards the golf club, trying to pick it up, and dad's holding it. Dad, of course, has Nike shoes on, presumably a Nike hat and other apparel if I were to squeeze my eyeballs and see specifically what type of Nike apparel he had. And the caption is just, "You already won," which again, that is enormously based. A big part of winning is, starting a family, having kids. It used to be the American dream before politicians left and right stole it from us by, taxing us all to hell, which I think is a contributing factor of why we have fewer and fewer kids in the United States. Well, I should clarify, American-born citizens in the United States. And presumably he also has a Nike little golf glove in his back pocket as well. That's right, they didn't add more logos to him. But nevertheless, the Nike logo on his, his sneakers are obviously very, very bold. And again, this also says, "You already won." Because again, he's a father. Fatherhood is, as youth might say, winning, as some youth become more and more based. And this one pretty probably got 5.3 million views and 161,000 likes. And yeah, I think Nike is going to kind of shift their marketing strategy this year. And I think partially the fat pride myth that they kept pushing on us, well, it was a myth because as soon as the easy button came out with all these drugs, which again, I'm not a doctor, a lot of these drugs that'll allow you to lose weight. I don't know what the side effects are, but because everyone who has money is basically going after those drugs. So all the people who said fat pride is real, no, it's absolutely not. Now, go to the main comment section. One of the first ones comes to us thanks to Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, see the difference, getting 431 likes. You also have Tesla fans saying, quote, "I do not understand how a sporting wear company brand was promoting being obese as a normal thing," getting 6.4 thousand likes, which, again, that is one way to expand your market. And presumably, you want people to get in shape. So I understand in terms of why you want to I understand how your audience might start large and get smaller over time, pun intended. But since it's where she wasn't actually working out or on a treadmill, to me, that would make more sense. Like showing her getting in shape and working hard, a really good effective ad, I think, would be to show the progression of someone losing weight and having like their whole Nike apparel, like a closet, kind of evolving with them. And something, I'm not a marketing executive, but shoot, just have something bold in the font that says like, Nike, we evolve with you. Like something to show like, as you get skinnier and get better in shape, you get more Nike apparel, which again, if it's good for that company, they sell more merch. But no, this is a gal just standing, own the floor, which because of insurance policies and the floor, she might have to legally own the floor because no one would be willing to take on the liability risk of her jumping on their floor and thereby breaking it and falling into the earth. That might be very well what they meant. But you also have Notorious Crypto saying, quote, "Got a feeling that future generations will look back on the early 2020s like a weird dystopian liberal fever dream," getting 8.5 thousand likes. Yep. Center Parody says, quote, never forget, never forgive, never Nike, gained 9.2 thousand likes. Martin Lucas says, quote, when you realize that catering to them doesn't stop them from robbing you or destroying all your stores, gained 4.2 thousand likes. Wonder if he was, I don't think he was ratioed. I'm curious what people said. April simply said, nailed it, gained 29 likes. Is this really her? It says actual Jenny from the block. What block? She says, quote, are you going to stop catering to black kids that you, quote, treat at the children's hospital? What? Doesn't correlate to the main post at all. Going back to the main comment section. You have Jack the Oklahoma says, quote, for a society that a majority white, barely but still hanging in there companies like this have some major effing dumbass syndrome when they make everything black. This caters towards minorities and trying to, quote, guilt trip white people. Shit has got to end. Getting 628 likes, which, I mean, there is population demographics in the United States, and there are also purchasing demographics of who is most likely to buy your products. Again, when it comes to apparel purchases, there is a big uptick for name brands in the African American community. There is for several years. But again, to me, it's like it wasn't a fitness ad. It was her just standing there. Now, you have Akershire Dreaming saying, quote, an ad promoting people who are unhealthy is just stupid, getting 205 likes. Yep. Washington's Ghost says we're making a comeback, getting 378, whoa, 79 likes. Sean Farish says, quote, the culture is shifting, getting 220 likes. Liz Marie says, best advertisement for shoes ever. And it's a picture of Muhammad Ali. And it says, nothing is impossible. Getting 846 likes. And apparently apparently that was a sponsored poster from Adidas, which kind of funny because they don't even show the shoe, but nevertheless. Florida 1 says, quote, perfect example of how woke companies change on a dime and will change back to woke when needed. Yep, getting 148 likes. I suspect that too. Going down more and more. No Clue Ninja says, quote, likely has something to do with this change, and shows that the Nike stock past couple years crashing about 24%, getting 1.5 thousand likes, which, I mean, that is also in part because of ever increasing competition, as well as, well, knockoff brands. There are a couple of variables of why the stock has been decreasing. But yeah, I think ineffective marketing campaigns can certainly be one of the bigger variables. MAGA fan 1776 says America's finally feeling it, getting 70 likes. So let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any contrarian statements here. Chris World says it's because of our voices that shit started to change. Keep it up, everyone. Getting 45 likes. Dr. Cherie says, quote, I will never purchase another Nike product. Don't care about their U-turn. Getting 110 likes. Let's see. Uma Sassafras A says, quote, I'm seeing black people in 9 out of 10 ads in 2025. Getting 175 likes, which, it's more like 19 out of 20. If I were to think of a percentage when I look at, the average advertisements in the United States. And again, it's the advertising theory that they could kill two birds with one stone, so to say. I mean, that is one of the biggest reasons of why they have mixed race families in commercials, is just because they try to capture every single market with one ad, because they think everyone who watches the ad will appeal to whatever race they see, which I don't really think is very effective, but that's one of the big variables of why so many companies have been pushing that same marketing technique for several years. So we'll see if anyone actually believes Nike, if they'll start to purchase their products again, and then do you think they're really actually, changing their actual beliefs, or are they just trying to cater towards a different growing audience? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.